by Dire Straits from their Making Movies record. Good morning, Vaqueros. This is DJ Doc V. You're listening to Office Hours. We're here for the next hour, playing some great music for you. At the bottom of the hour, as we usually do, we've got This Day in History, and then I've got another poem from the Gallery Magazine edition 2024. Hopefully a Gallery Magazine will be coming out this semester, another 2025 edition. That'd be fantastic. Looking forward to it. So thanks for tuning in. It is Friday, October 10th. It's 6 minutes after the hour, going on 7 minutes after the hour. Great to be with you. Thank you for tuning in. It is the end of week 6 here at the fall 2025 semester at beautiful UTRGV. And it is a little rainy. It was a little rainy today. And looks like it'll still be threatening. Currently 77 degrees. We're looking for a high of 90 degrees today here in the beautiful Rio Grande Valley. So make sure that you prepare. Bring your umbrella wherever you're going. Looks like we've got a pretty high humidity, so it's going to be sticky, 89%. And the UV index 2 out of 11, so we're not going to see much sun today. Mostly cloudy, a little bit of sun, maybe peeking out a little later, but still throughout the day, about a 25% chance of rain. So make sure that you prepare. Bring your umbrella with you. Tomorrow, we're looking at a high of 92 degrees with sunny skies, and then Sunday, once again, 92 degrees, sunny skies with a overnight low of 69 degrees. Back on Monday, mostly sunny, 93 degrees for our return to work next week. Our teams are out of town this weekend, so not a lot of UTRGV athletics to talk about. But let me tell you, I went to the football game last week at Robert and Janet Vaquero Stadium. Great experience. Really enjoyed it. And thankfully, the seats that we had were out of the sun because, even at 7 o'clock when kickoff, sun is still out, and I was on the opposite side of the sun, which is really nice. So, and we won that game against Houston Christian. So, we're doing well. It's really exciting. The inaugural season of UTRG NCAA Division I football, and we wish them luck as they go into another week of competition. And I think they've only got one loss so far, so I think they're 4-1 or 5-1. Good luck to our footballers as they continue their season. Let's get back to the music here. Since that Dire Straits piece is a little bit lo-fi, let's stick with that. How about a little Sarah McLachlan? I haven't played her, I don't think, before on Office Hours. So this one's titled Building a Mystery. Only on Vaquero Radio, the ballad. That song, America, A Horse with No Name. But it has a special place in my heart because it's a song that's part of the Breaking Bad universe. Main character Walter White listening and jamming to A Horse with No Name in his, what was it, the Pontiac Aztec or something like that, that funky SUV he had. So one of my favorite TV shows, that's good TV right there, for sure. Breaking Bad. I could start that from the pilot, watch it through to the end, and then start it over just immediately because it's so good. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that the main character is a middle-aged educator who's underpaid. That sounds, it's a little too close to home, Can I even call myself middle-aged anymore? I don't even know. So good morning, Vaqueros. DJ Doc V here with you until the top of the hour, 11 a.m. That was America with Horse with No Name. Before that, one of my favorites, Rotterdam by the Beautiful South, Paul Heaton and the band there. Just a very unique, I love the name of that band, The Beautiful South. And they're British, so it's not like it's some kind of former Confederate thing or something. And then at the top of that set, we heard Sarah McLachlan with Building a Mystery. It's Friday, October 10th. And just to confirm, as I mentioned last time I was talking, the football team's 5-1. So good for them. They're on the road, or they're off this weekend. They have a bye week. And then next weekend, I believe they are on the road next weekend. And they are playing, let's take a quick look here. This is going to be Lamar on October 18th in Beaumont, Texas. So, UTRGV takes on Lamar next weekend, Saturday, October 18th at 3 p.m. in Beaumont, Texas. It'll be on ESPN Plus and radio as well. Not our station, but another station, so you could listen to the game. You could, if you're going to be in Beaumont, Texas, maybe you could even get a ticket. Who knows? They'll be back on October 25th playing Incarnate Word here at Robert and Janet Vaquero Stadium in Edinburgh. So, and it's homecoming on October 25th. So this is something that's different for us here at UTRGV. We've all the years I've been, this is my 7th year here, and we've normally done homecoming during the baseball season because we didn't have a football team. So looks like they are changing homecoming to be in the fall, as it is for other Division I football schools. So that'll be homecoming next weekend, October 25th. Well, not even next weekend. They're off this week. They've got October 18th in Beaumont, and then the 25th. So a couple of weeks away is our homecoming here. I wonder if we'll be doing the burning of the letters. It's 7 p.m. in Incarnate Word. That'd be interesting to do that down by the stadium. Burning of the letters is something we do every year, and one of our traditions here at UTRGV. Thanks for tuning in, Vaqueros. We'll be here for the next 30, 35 minutes. And got some great music for you. Let's do one more before we do our This Day in History. So here's a little bit of New Order with Ceremony here on Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station. Thanks for tuning in, Vaqueros. DJ Doc V will be with you here up until 11 o'clock local here in the beautiful Upper Rio Grande Valley. Though it's been kind of gloomy today, cloudy skies, rainy. We expect a little bit more of that for the rest of the day. So make sure you're prepared when you head out. Bring your umbrella, bring your raincoat if you got one. Wear your boots so that you don't have to, mess up your sneakers and stuff. As we do every week on office hours, we've got This Day in History. And on October 10th in 1973, less than a year before Richard M. Nixon's resignation as President of the United States, his Vice President, Spiro Agnew, resigns in disgrace. The same day, he pleaded no contest to a charge of federal income tax evasion in exchange for the dropping of charges of political corruption. He was subsequently fined $10,000, sentenced to 3 years probation, and disbarred by the Maryland Court of Appeals. Agnew was the second vice president in history to resign the office. The first was John Calhoun, who stepped down in 1832 after citing political differences with President Andrew Jackson and showing interest in filling a vacant Senate seat. Agnew, a Republican, was elected chief executive of Baltimore County in Maryland in 1961. In 1967, he became governor of Maryland, an office he held until his nomination as the Republican vice presidential candidate in 1968. During Nixon's successful campaign, Agnew ran on a tough law and order platform, and as vice president, he frequently attacked opponents of the Vietnam War and liberals as being disloyal and un-American. Boy, that sounds familiar. Plus ça change, plus c'est la même chose. Re-elected with Nixon in 1972, Agnew resigned on October 10, 1973, after the U.S. Justice Department uncovered widespread evidence of his political corruption, including allegations that his practice of accepting bribes had continued into his tenure as U.S. Vice President. He died at the age of 77 on September 17, 1996. So crooked is a dog's hind leg, right? Let's see what else happened on this day in history. In 1845, the United States Naval Academy opens in Annapolis, Maryland, with 50 midshipmen, students, and 7 professors. Also, in 1954, on October 10th, the Viet Minh formally take over Hanoi and control of North Vietnam. In 1957, Dwight D. Eisenhower apologizes to African diplomat in the conclusion to an extremely embarrassing situation. President Dwight D. Eisenhower offers his apologies to Ghanaian Finance Minister Komala Egbeli Gibbet, oh gosh, that's a funky name there, but who had been refused service at a restaurant in Dover, Delaware. It was one of the first of many such incidents in which African diplomats were confronted with racial segregation in the United States. While the matter might appear rather small relative to other events in the Cold War, the continued racial slights to African and Asian diplomats during the 1950s and 60s were of utmost concern to U.S. officials. During those decades, the United States and the Soviet Union were competing for the hearts and minds of hundreds of millions of people of color in Asia and Africa. Racial discrimination in America, particularly when it was directed at representatives from those regions, was, as one U.S. official put it, the nation's Achilles heel. Matters continued to deteriorate in the early 1960s, with dozens of diplomats from new nations in Africa and Asia faced housing discrimination in Washington, D.C., as well as a series of confrontations in restaurants, barbershops, and other places of business in and around the area. It was clear that American civil rights had become an international issue. And just, a few years later, we would see the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, what most historians would point to as the end of the Jim Crow South, but, still not without difficulty. I joke with my students that after the passage of the Voting Rights Act, obviously racism ended in the United States, right? And then I wait and I see a lot of shaking heads in the audience or in the classroom there. So, DJ Doc V here with you for the next 25 minutes. We've got a poem picked out from the 2024 Gallery Magazine edition. That's coming up in about, 15 minutes. But let's get back to the music. Here's a little Gang of Four. Boy, we haven't heard of them for a while. This is a song called The Future of Public Enemy. Well, we miss them. Well, wouldn't that be great to see a new Public Enemy record? Oh, gosh. Oh, perfect timing, too. Perfect timing. Good morning, Vaqueros. DJ Doc V here with you till the top of the hour. It's 10:51 here in the beautiful Upper Rio Grande Valley. 78 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. We're expecting some rain today, so prepare. Make sure that when you go out there, bring your umbrella, bring your raincoat. And bring Vaquero Radio with you. If you're not listening to us on the Radio Garden app, download that immediately. Download that app immediately and take Vaquero Radio wherever you go, so that you can hear the great music that we're playing for you. We started that last set off with Gang of Four, and that's 1980s kind of. I guess that we call it new wave, although some people say there's no such thing as new wave. And that comment goes out to someone who knows who they are. After that, it was a Killing Joke with Let's All Go to the Fire Dances, Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. And then we ended that off with Public Enemy and Fight the Power, Power to the People, No Delay. The headlines this morning, by the way, from the Associated Press, I don't mind telling you, Trump's quest for the Nobel Peace Prize falls short again despite high-profile nominations. Passed over for the Nobel Peace Prize. I mean, gosh, I don't want to get political. Anyway, congratulations to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado, who was awarded the prize. The Norwegian Nobel Committee said it was honoring Machado, quote, for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela and for her struggle to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy. Good for her. Glad to hear it. As we do every week on office hours, we've got a poem that I picked out for you from Gallery Magazine, and it's from the 2024 edition from Gallery Magazine. This one's a poem titled An Elegy for the People We Needed to Be for One Another, and it's by Alexia Tijerina. And I stood there like a fool when we bartered for time and applause, holding onto hands without a proper cause. An offense when defending each other was simply an excuse, because deep down we always knew I only ever needed you. Expectations surpass our motivations for life and for death. To cease our commitment to one another was to go on forgiving enough to keep wishing and reliving mistakes, and the grip we had was folding a hand that had gone on for far longer than the cards were dealt. And when I look at my life without you, nothing comes to mind, because if you were just a crutch, then I would hope you waste my time. I'd pray to God, who condemns us, if it meant our world would not end, because I have never known how to let things go, and you grew up with an empty hand. And still, the hold becomes loose, and our love with its noose, I mourn at the tomb, and my bedroom becomes a graveyard, where you lay me to rest, but I cannot bear to sleep here anymore, where your bluff had met its best. So I remain like a ghost, haunting your circumstances and whistling prayers to the moon, begging for a second chance. That's a poem titled An Elegy for the People We Needed to Be for One Another by Alexia Tijerina, only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley's student station. And thanks again for tuning in, Vaqueros. This is DJ Doc V. I'm here with you every Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. So make sure you tune in and bring Radio Garden. Make sure you download Radio Garden and take Vaquero Radio wherever you go. We've got another song here for you. This one is The Police with Can't Stand Losing You. This is from one of their very first records. Is it Outlandos de l'Amour? Maybe that was the new one. Or the first one? I forget. This one from The Police, only on Vaquero Radio.